All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Geek podcast for the first episode of 2019. It's me, Kush, and I got, I don't know, Laura, how do you want to introduce yourself?
Yay! I'm so excited. I'm your friend, Lara.
And I don't know, it's been 6 months since my last episode, so I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'm gonna ask you a question, Laura. What was your, let's go with what was your favorite movie of last year?
This is a hard one. Um, I recently saw Infinity War, and I was like, "Whoa, it's so good." I really liked Infinity War, but I don't know if that's one from last year or the year before that. Literally, I
That
have no idea.
that is from last year, but I was expecting something more along the lines of like I don't know. From how I know you, I thought you were gonna say like some new art house film.
Uh, I mean, okay, I've seen. Uh, the thing is, like, I don't watch movies that often,
Hmm.
um, just because I just find myself watching more YouTube usually. But a cute film that I saw on Christmas Eve was Dickens. It's just like the story of like how Charles Dickens wrote like A Christmas Carol, and it's with that actor from Downtown Abbey. I don't remember his name, but he also did The Beauty and the Beast. Like, you know who I'm talking about?
Uh, actor
He,
from Downton Abbey. There was a movie called just Dickens.
yeah, like Dickens, the man that invented Christmas or something like that. It's like a
Oh,
Christmas
the
themed
man who
movie.
invented Christmas. Yeah, no, I see
Y-
what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was
I like that. It was a cute
oh,
little Christmas
Dan
movie.
Stevens was the actor in that.
Yeah, he's the guy from Downtown
Beauty and the
Abbey
Beast.
and Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yep. Also, there was a movie he was in called The Gift, I think, or The Guest. The Guest. That's what he was in.
Hmm. I
Which is
didn't
a
see
movie
that
you
one.
should watch if you like the actor. I would highly suggest watching The Guest. It's like
Uh,
it's a weird like thriller. It's a really creepy thriller movie.
uh, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. If it pops up on my Netflix, why not?
I don't know if it's on Netflix, but yeah. Anyway, all right. So Infinity War and Dickens.
Yeah. But if you have
Yep.
to ask me like what my favorite movie of like all time is,
Hmm.
I don't know if you know this about me, but like I'm obsessed with Across the Universe.
With Stephen Hawking.
No, no. No, that musical with like all the Beatles songs.
Wait, there's a musical called Across the Universe.
Yeah, Across the Universe, and it's like based in like the 80s when or like 70s. There's all the Beatles songs that are like put into the story. Um and it's with oh my god, I'm so bad with actor names. But it's
Evan
with
Rachel Wood, Jim Sturgis.
Jim Sturgis. Yeah, oh my god. Beautiful. He's so beautiful. And he's very
I
talented. I love that movie. I literally watch that movie like at least 5 or 6 times a year. And it's on Netflix right now. So if you haven't seen it, Kush, you have to go watch that movie. It's
uh,
been
to tell me like
it's very criticized. It's very criticized because people are like, "Oh, it's like not a good movie. It's like doesn't do justice to the Beatles songs." I disagree. I think it's brilliant. I think the actors and the choreography and the sets are great. I just love it very, very much. So,
okay, so sell this movie to me. Like, what's so special about it? Why is it your favorite movie of all time?
because well, firstly, I have a small obsession with the Beatles,
Mm,
so I appreciate someone that also appreciates the Beatles.
mm.
And I just think it's very well done. It's the the remixes, or I don't know what they would be called, but like the way they redo the songs, I think is very nice and it blends very well into the story. It's set in a time period that I was not lucky enough to be born in, but that I would have enjoyed. And I just find it very, very touching and very, very relatable because it's about young people.
All right, I'm kind of looking through some of the pictures for this movie, and it's like it seems like it's got really, really like vibrant cinematography.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful to look at. Hmm.
Uh, I might actually give this a try. I am not the biggest fan of musicals. I think I might have told you that before. Like I genuinely kind of I find it very,
Yeah,
very hard to get into musicals in general. Like there's okay, musicals that don't really focus on the music are the kind of musicals that I like, if that makes sense.
right, right.
Like
I would say this is pretty music centric, but it's not like Mamma Mia, where it's like, or like High School Musical, where it's like, hey, burst into song.
I'm gonna be honest, I've tried watching Mamma Mia 3, maybe 4 times. I can't. I've tried
I don't
so
like it.
hard. I've
Yeah.
tried so hard, and I remember like the first one that came out. I've tried it on like on TV. I've literally tried downloading like or not downloading, watching it online, like and then like sitting myself down and being like, I gotta watch this. It's like super well known movie, and I'm just like
Hmm.
20, 30 minutes into the movie, I'm like, I hate this movie. I just hate it. I'm
Yeah,
talking about like
no.
whatever the 2008 or 9 one was, like the one with Meryl Streep and like Amanda
Yeah, yeah,
Seyfried.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
no.
why.
Honestly, I haven't seen that either. Like, I know of it, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I can't sit down and like sit through it, you know? It's
Mhm.
not my thing. But
So I remember the last time we were like hanging out, you started talking about a particular movie that you thought was really cool. Was remind me again, what was the stupid thing called? Not the stupid thing, like Vincent Van Gogh's movie. What was that one?
oh yeah, Loving Vincent.
Loving
Loving
Vincent.
Vincent. Yes. That movie did not win an Oscar that year. I think it was like 2017.
2017 movie, yeah,
Yeah.
nominated for Best Animated Film.
It didn't win. I think Coco won that year.
Hmm.
But honestly, I I mean Coco, great movie, nothing to say about that. I cried like a baby watching it.
Yeah.
But the effort that went into Loving Vincent, I think it should have been rewarded with an Oscar. So basically, like every single frame in the movie was painted in like the Van Gogh style. So every single frame was a painting that someone literally sat down for hours and hours to paint every single movement in the film. And I just thought that was incredible.
So
Incredible. Absolutely beautiful.
I've never seen the movie, but that's why I'm going to ask you this question. But how exactly did they do the dialogue then?
I mean, it's just like dubbed. What do you
Oh, so
mean?
it's like, do people's like lips move through the
Yeah, yeah,
paintings, or
yeah.
is it like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like, you know, like how old school animation you would get like one frame and then the next frame you would paint, you would draw something that moves a little bit higher and then
yeah,
kind of like those flip books where you're
kind
like
of like
flipping through, you know?
early South Park, for example?
Yeah, pretty much. But this is with like large scale paintings. And they had actors that represented like the characters that just kind of sat there and painted, like the artist just kind of like sat there and like painted the actors. Um, so I don't know. I just
That's
thought
really cool. Yeah,
it was really
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. That was the last kind of like thought that I had in my head when it came to like that movie. That's something I really do want to watch, though. It right now my main focus is to find somewhere to watch Loving Vincent. Hopefully
Yeah.
it's on like Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that, whatever I can find it on. Because for me, one of the things is like the way that I like movies, there are times when I'll forego the story if it does something really unique with the way that they present their art.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you can have a movie that's like, I don't know, it could be really simple. It could have like the most simple plot, or at times it could actually even have like a sub I don't know, not suboptimal, but like lower than average plot. But if
Mhm.
you do something that like it looks beautiful, or it somehow like captures my eyes or something like that, and this is why I have a real love for directors and cinematographers and DPs, or like directors of photography or whatever it may be, is like if it looks beautiful, I kind of let go of the story. That's
Yeah.
like why I loved Blade, like the what do you call it, the sequel to Blade Runner so much from two
Mhm.
years ago, was the fact that like if it was a pretty simple story, it wasn't really that complicated, but the movie looked incredibly beautiful.
Mhm.
And I don't know, have you seen the movie, or like do you know kind
With
of
the
know what
one
I'm
with
talking?
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford,
No, I haven't seen that one, to be honest. I mean, I saw the first one, but I didn't see the
the sequel to
sequel.
it. It's like the best way to put it is like it's very neon centric. Like the colors
Mhm.
are incredibly saturated in every single shot in the film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess yes, sometimes I totally agree. Like if
yeah,
it's visually super appealing, then A for effort. Sometimes though, I guess it depends like really how bad the story is. Like I don't know about you, but when Avatar came out, like okay, great visuals, but like I did not enjoy the story of that, for example.
so I'd say like this, like watching Avatar in the movie theater for the first time was pretty fucking amazing. Like it was
Yeah.
like incredible, but it's not a movie that like ages well or translates well. Like those are
Yeah.
my two things where like there's nothing special about what Avatar looks like if you look at it now, like 10 years later, if you rewatch the movie or something like that, you're like, sure, like the effects are incredible, but they were incredible for its time, because now
Yeah.
movies have caught up to what Avatar kind of did. And it it's one of those movies where it's just like if you watch that movie on like a TV, or like if you watch it on a flight, it loses all of the appeal that was there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I think
And
what
yeah,
makes a movie like a great movie is like something that stands the test of time, something you can watch over and over and like always enjoy.
then here's a weird question, right?
Hmm.
Name a movie that came out between 2010 and now
Oh shit. Yes.
that in 50 years from now, so in like 2060, right? Or
Yeah.
in the 2060s, it will be considered like a classic, like something that you think will stand the test of time of the next 50 years.
Ah.
It's a
Oh.
really hard question, and that I just threw you under the bus for, so that I could get
Okay.
really good content for the podcast. But there,
Lol. Okay. For some reason, all I can think about are like animated movies, but like How to Train Your Dragon, great movie, and
sure.
Zootopia, great movie.
No, like
I
if you can,
think,
I'm actually okay. Here's what I'll say. I'm actually on your side for How to Train Your Dragon.
yeah.
Zootopia, I
Oh, come
enjoyed
on, it
it,
was
but like
great.
no, I'm telling you, I enjoyed watching it the first time, but like Zootopia is not a movie I really got back and rewatched. Like How to Train Your Dragon, I've since it came out in, I'd say maybe 9 years ago. That I think that's when the first How to Train Your Dragon came out. I've rewatched it over 10 times at least.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Like, it's a
Yeah,
great movie.
it's a universal like thing about like it's friendship. That's what the movie's about. It's just
Yeah.
friendship. And I think the musical score in that movie is also incredible. Why did you like why did How to Train Your Dragon pop into your head as like the movie that will hold up in 50 years?
I just think that kids will always be kids, and like it's kids will always be kids, and they're always gonna enjoy a well-made movie, and there's always gonna be like a good lesson for them to learn
Hmm.
from it. So it's kind of a little bit like Mary Poppins. Now, I'm not comparing the two, okay? Let's be clear. I'm not comparing the two. But Mary Poppins is a movie that I will show my kids because it's just so great. So I don't know. Does that make sense? I feel
Yeah.
like that kind of feeling that you get
Hmm.
every time you watch that movie, you get that same. amazing feeling of whatever, happiness and enjoyment, or even how to Train Your Dragon, like when he loses the leg. Oh my god, I was devastated. But I also thought it was like brilliant how now he's like just like his dragon. So it's the feeling that always survives. So I think that's what makes a movie good.
That was a really well thought out explanation. Wow.
Lol.
Uh, no, I'm gonna go as far to say it. Like I like How to Train Your Dragon more than I ever liked Mary Poppins. I
They're two completely different. They're two completely different movies, though.
Sure, but like the feeling that I get from when I'm watching How to Train Your Dragon doesn't
Hmm.
matter when I'm watching it. I like, and I think this also has a lot to do with the score that was in the film. Uh, I
That
like that.
how the score from Mary Poppins is great. You can't compare. They're two different things, dude.
All right, there's a song or like a composition in How to Train Your Dragon called "Forbidden Friendship," right? It's
Hmm.
this like 4.5 minute long piece of music that I think, like, I'm trying to remember who composed the movie. Like, God, was it
I
like
have it on my phone.
you have like
Mm,
the composer for How to Train Your Dragon, or like
yeah, because sometimes when I'm like chilling, I listen to movie scores or like video
John
game
Powell?
scores. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he composed a piece called "Forbidden Friendship," and it's like literally, it's like I to this day I remember it's like 4 minutes and like 32 seconds, but it is so beautiful, and it's like I'd like listen to the score and just like some of my favorite scenes from the movie like just pop into my head while I'm listening to it,
yeah,
and nothing in like Mary Poppins does that for me. I've watched it on Broadway. I've like seen the old, I think, how old is it, like 1967 or something like that. That's when
yeah,
Mary
yeah,
Poppins
yeah.
came out. I've watched that, and like I've listened to the music from Mary Poppins as well, but like
But see,
something, yeah. Go ahead.
sorry, Kush, but like, no, I feel that. I feel like Mary Poppins is more of like a whimsical, like it's more whimsical and like circusy resemblance where you know when you go to the circus and you get that feeling of like, oh wow, everything's so like bright and cool and whatever. Whereas
Sure,
How to
yeah.
Train Your Dragon is more of a it's more of an emotional movie, you know?
Yeah, it hits you on your core with some like really
Yeah,
weird and hurtful, but at the same time real things.
yeah. Where I mean, they're two completely. It's apples and oranges. I
Hmm.
If you're trying to compare them is difficult because they 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 do different things for the audience. They have a totally different point to them, and even the time when they were created is,
Oh yeah, I mean
you
we're
know,
talking about what, like a 55-year-old difference, or
yeah,
40, 45 years or something like that. I don't know. I can't do math right
it's
now.
an entire generation, you know.
Two generations.
Yeah,
Wait, no, 1964. So 2010 minus 1964. I'm gonna have 46 years. Yeah.
yeah.
So no, I haven't, honestly, I haven't talked about How to Train Your Dragon in a very long time. Uh, all right, let's see. We talked about a movie that holds up in 50 years. I don't know. Is there anything in particular that you have in mind that you would like to talk about, or do you want to talk about that like poster of yours or something like that?
um, yeah, sure, we can talk about my poster.
All right, then explain what the poster is.
Okay, so I have this vintage vintagey collage from the early 80s. It's hanging right in my living room wall. And it's just basically it's like pieces of magazines and photos and um like cool letters and names and articles, and it's got that vintagey look where the paper is kind of worn and brownish. And I have a theory that it tells the story of whoever, like the guy that made it, it tells the story of his life.
Hmm.
And so like Kush and I, we were doing a little bit of research because it's the kind of thing, it's a little bit like not exactly like a Where's Waldo, but it's like every time you look, you see a different detail.
Hmm.
And so we were doing a little bit of research on the magazine articles that are glued to this thing. And it's so we came to the conclusion that someone that was an RA for
Skidmore
Skidmore
College.
College,
Yep.
yeah, Skidmore College, class of 82 or 83, um, that would like shake, wake, and bake with his friends, had two dogs. I don't know. Dude, I just think it's like one of the most beautiful pieces of art, and it's like literally nothing. It's like literally nothing impressive, but I just think it's so cool because it tells like a story of someone's life.
And but we had that debate where you thought it was like organized in a way where it like goes through someone's life, whereas I said that it was like purely chaotic, and then you can like pick and choose whatever you want, and you can make your own interpretation of that person's life.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, so yes, definitely it feels like chaotic when you first look at it.
Hmm.
Then if you look at the details, there's just these patterns, you
Yep.
know?
No,
There's patterns.
I agree with you. Like once, I don't know, once we started researching all of this shit, and then like went down that rabbit hole of like trying to find the person who made the collage or something
Yeah.
like that.
The only thing that bothered me is that every time you did a Google search, you came out with all these like sketchy, all these sketchy ass news, like, oh, like four died in a fire at Skidmore College, or like RA convicted or accused of assault. And I was like, dude, I really don't want to know all this stuff about this thing that's hanging in my living room.
But I mean, I was just using the hints that we had, like the people's names that were there or whatever.
Yeah.
We managed to find like one person on LinkedIn,
Yeah. I'm like
but
still debating. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and just like send it to him and be like, "Yo, is this yours?"
well, no, but we thought like the person that we found on LinkedIn kind of, or in my eyes, had like a similar nose and like facial structure, but you thought didn't look anything like the guy from there.
No, I thought it was like typical white dude.
No, all right, like this is just my thoughts on it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. No, but it's great.
uh,
That's what I love about it. It's that anyone can watch it and like can look at it and gain whatever they want from it, you know. Get their own version.
sure,
I'm
yeah.
also super sick. So I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little nasal. Um, I'm sick.
So far, the only like no, there hasn't been any issue. Occasionally,
Yeah.
you've clipped a little bit.
What does that mean?
So clipping is like when you get really close, like you're talking at a particular level, and then you get really close to the mic and you talk, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm
And then
here. I'm holding the microphone from my headphones.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it like just shoots up, clips, and then comes back down and like adjusts the level on its own. That's the only thing. But like that's also it like happens like once every few minutes. So it's
Oh,
not even a real like issue at all.
all right. Cool.
I don't know. What were we talking about apart from that? Did you see Aquaman at all?
Not yet. Not yet. I haven't. Did it come out? I'm
Yeah,
like,
it came out like
low.
2 months back or like a month and a half back.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've been living in my little cave.
Okay, so what was something you saw recently that you haven't talked about yet? Like you said you saw Infinity War recently, but like what's a random movie that you saw just at home or like in a movie theater or
Okay.
something like that?
So, random movie that I saw literally like last weekend in bed
Hmm.
is oh god, it's on Netflix. I need to go find it now cuz I it's with Hugh Grant and Sarah Jessica Parker, and it's called, damn, let me look for it.
Did you hear about the
Oh,
Morgans?
did you hear about the Morgans? Yeah, it's like an old movie, but I, I thought it was so fun. it's like them about going into like a witness protection program, but they're divorced. So they're like, we don't actually can't share the room. And they go in the middle of freaking Wyoming and it looks like they have to learn how to horse ride. And it's like freaking Red Dead Redemption in the middle of nowhere. So
I'd say
it was a cute little movie.
this movie got roasted by the critics from what I'm seeing right now.
Seriously. I
It,
mean,
it's got 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
it's I mean, what is it from the 90s? It's like a
2008.
2008?
Sorry,
What?
2009. End of 2009, start of 2010.
Oh wow, I thought it gave me like a 90s feel. Whatever. It was Saturday night and I had nothing better to do.
Did you hear about the Morgans?
Yeah.
Give me your like artistic review of this movie.
Nah, there's nothing artistic about it. It's just a rom-com, typical rom-com with two good actors, but it's
Oh shit, Sam Elliott's in this movie.
yeah, yeah. Anyway.
Uh, I don't know. I can't think of any other particular topic. Do you have anything in mind? Okay, throw me something that you want to talk about, or what's something that's cool, something cool that's happened recently, or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, so I've decided that I want to start like a vlog. Like a vlog, but I want to make it like a house vlog. So I'm looking to buy a house or buy an apartment or
Yeah.
go live somewhere essentially because I'm getting my lease is ending in September, so I'm gonna be homeless. So I decided that I'm gonna make a channel where I'm like, come home shopping with me. Um, the only thing is that the houses I've been to see so far are
Yeah.
like pretty shit. So most likely I'm gonna be homeless in a few months.
What do you mean? Like, do you want to basically vlog what it's like to buy a house and like,
Yeah, okay, I don't know about you, but
yeah,
like I'm the kind of person that when it's like night or you can see inside people's house from their window when the
mhm.
light is on. Like I'm that creep that will like stare and be like, "Oh, that guy has like a piano in there or he has like a nice little library or whatever." Um I love looking into people's houses and I love looking at like floor plans and being like, oh my God, I'll put my couch here and then I'll put the TV here and the kitchen, I'm gonna move it, blah, blah, blah.
The
So,
second part of that sentence is fine. The first part of that sentence is so creepy.
what?
It's just like it starts off with I love looking into people's houses at night. Like there's something like kind of murderous about what you just said there.
I mean, I just like to get an idea for interior decor.
Sure,
um,
okay. Good save there.
I mean, okay, whatever, Kush.
But wait, continue. Like so you were talking about like looking at floor plans and everything like that.
Yeah, and I feel like if I like that kind of stuff,
Hmm.
someone else will, right? Isn't that how YouTube people do their thing? They just talk about their lives and then someone's like, "Wow, this is interesting." So,
Yeah, no, that's a good like okay. The only experience that I really have when it comes to people that I know that love vlogging channels and something like that, it's not. I know teenagers or like particular like I have a couple of like cousins that are teenagers and like they love these like particular makeup channels because then they use
yeah.
that as a way to buy their own makeup. So it's
Right.
almost like a trusted like brand advisor that they
Yeah, for sure.
even though they
Yeah,
have
for
absolute
sure.
like these people have no experience as to apart from being consumers like they're just people that buy a lot of makeup and then they start like putting like reviews of it up or whatever and then they
Yeah.
build a following and then they kind of become like makeup critics by just being consumers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, that's how like my entire makeup cabinet is either like samples gifted, or I bought it because my favorite YouTuber was using it. Like, I'm not reasonable. I like to do what other people do. Hashtag basic. So no, but yeah, no, I agree. It's like it's a way for me, like honestly, YouTube, I learn a lot of shit from YouTube. I learned how to cook. I learned how to do my makeup. I learned how to, sew and fix a hole in my jeans or shit like that. YouTube's a great place to grow and become your own person, just like everyone else.
No, I completely agree with that. Like, I used to spend, or actually, no, I definitely do spend more time on YouTube than I do on Netflix.
Yeah.
And for me, the reason behind that is it's just, well, Netflix is fun. That like entertains me and everything like that. YouTube for me is like, YouTube is where I learned how to podcast in a way. It's like it's how I found podcasts. Was not through Apple Podcasts. It's like YouTube channels that I would listen to or follow or something like that, and then they would start their own podcast, and that's how I would listen to them. And that's why the idea of what I'm doing right now, what this is, came from. At the same
Yeah.
time, I learned how to cook from YouTube. Same. I learned how to. Weirdly enough, I learned how to write movies from YouTube. I used to watch different channels where they would like talk about the movies that they were watching, or like talk about, like stuff like Nerd Writer or something like
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm just gonna shout out a few channels where like there's a channel called like Lessons from a Screenplay or Nerd Writer One, or these different people that like kind of go through different stories that are in movies, and then they like analyze them in a weird way as to what they do. Like, one of those channels did a fantastic thing about how Sorkin writes his characters,
Mhm.
and why he doesn't focus on their emotions as much as he focuses on like building their character from what they say.
Mhm. Yeah.
And like I don't know, that was kind of an interesting thing. It's like it's how I so I do agree. It's just as much of a lesson as it is
Wow,
anything
no,
else.
Kush, you're making me feel it's like, wow, you do YouTube right. Because the shit I learned from YouTube is no way, nowhere that intellectual. Like, when I was a teenager, I would look up like how to flirt with boys.
I mean, I
Like,
have
you're making me feel like a total piece of shit.
no. I mean, like if I look at my like YouTube subscriptions, I have like 20 channels that are just related to like people gaming and then putting up their video games.
Yeah.
So obviously I have my guilty pleasures, and then I have my more educational ones, and then a bunch of channels where I'm just like, why the fuck did I subscribe to this? Like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
And but do you have that issue where your YouTube is filled with a lot of like you've just subscribed to so many channels over time that now it's just gotten to that level where you don't
Um,
actually keep up with all of the channels that you subscribe to, but you have like 4 or 5 channels that you keep up with, and that's it. But the remaining like 25 are just accumulating like notifications.
Actually, no, because for this is weird, but like for a period of time, I was actually using like my work email to be on
Hmm.
YouTube just because it was like randomly connected. And so I wouldn't subscribe to any channels with my work email. So on my subscriptions are actually just like those maybe 10 people, maybe 10 that I follow. So I don't really get spammed a lot. I also am not the kind of person that's very adventurous with YouTube. Like once I find my YouTuber,
Hmm.
I'm a loyal consumer of their videos, you know? I don't like to find new people to follow. Usually when I find new people to follow, I find them very annoying at first. I have to like it takes me time to get used to a YouTuber, which is why I don't go out and subscribe to other people, you know?
All right, so you kind of use YouTube in a very, or your way of subscribing to people on YouTube is very different from mine. Like for
Yeah,
me,
I'm
it's
very selective.
it's kind of like I will find another YouTuber, or like I'm just exploring YouTube, and I'll like binge a person's like channel for say maybe 2 to 3 hours, right?
Mhm.
And I'll knock out like some of the gaming channels. Each of the videos are maybe like 7 to 10 minutes,
Mhm.
So if I knock out 2 hours on their channel, I'm talking about like 12 to 13, maybe 15 videos of their content.
Yeah.
And if those like 15 videos, like I've binged through those 15 videos, then at that point, like I've subscribed to that channel already because it gave me enough content for like 2 hours of stuff. And like that, I'll find like particular subscriptions that I have that I don't really keep up with. Yeah, there's just like random channels that I have. Like as I'm going through, like I subscribe to the people that make Cyanide and Happiness. I don't know if you know what that is.
No. What's
So
that?
they're these like weird, really like morbid animated shorts, right?
Okay.
And they won't be more than like they'll be 2 minutes at the most. But I started like watching them, and then they have like a compilation up, which is like 30 minutes long. And then I watched two of their compilations, and then I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna toss these guys a follow. Now they put out a video, maybe it seems like every day or 3 times a week or something like that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna lie, I haven't watched their like last 6 months of content. So like I'm talking about like 100 plus videos of content or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But it's still there in my subscriptions because like I'll update my subscriptions more and more, and it's become like this entire thing where I have maybe 40 subscriptions on my YouTube channel, but I religiously watch three, maybe four.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like 10%, and then the remaining is just like I'll watch something that I find kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like when I go on YouTube, I'm either looking for like just a lifestyle video where someone's like, "Watch me live my life," and I'll like literally put it on while I'm home so I don't feel lonely. Or I'll watch like I'm super into like the gym and stuff like that. So I'll watch like people that work out because that gets me pumped. And then I'm like, oh my God, I love your leggings. I'm going to buy the same. I'm going to wear them. I'm going to go to the gym.
So
Like,
you watch like YouTubers that you would want to emulate in a way.
well, yes, kind of. I watch YouTubers that, is this weird? I watch YouTubers that I think are similar to me. Like, I watch
Hmm.
YouTubers that like the same things that I would like, or that say
Hmm.
the same things that I would like, or that like do the same things. Like there's this YouTuber, her name is Natasha Ocean,
Hmm.
and she does like fitness videos, and she's just like this really sweet girl in her early 20s. So like I don't know, I kind of like see myself in her. Apart from she has like an amazing body, like well she's like a freaking fitness YouTuber, so like
Hmm.
no shit. But I like her workouts. Like I generally find them inspiring. So yeah, I kind of look for someone that is similar to me and that I can become similar to, but just to be a better version of myself, you know? Does that make sense? I don't
No, it
know.
does. It does. Like my YouTube thing is like a lot of what I subscribe to are not people that are similar to me, but I have similar interests to what I
Yeah.
find enjoyable. So like I might not be even remotely similar to the person whose videos I'm watching, but like I don't know, they'll find this. So I'll just give an example. There's a YouTuber that I've been watching a lot, and I kind of keep pushing onto my friends as well. Is a dude with the channel called Call Me Kevin, right?
Yeah.
What he basically does is like most of the people that got really big on YouTube, his channel is related to playing video games, editing them, and then putting them up.
Yeah.
But he does it in a way that it's not like let me show you the gameplay. It's not in a way that let me show you what the game does good, what the game does bad, let me review the game. No. He kind of does it in a way where it's just like I'm gonna create this like severely messed up characters and make them do the weirdest shit possible.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna see how far I can break this game.
Wh-
Does that if that
What
makes sense?
what do you mean break the game? You
So
gotta tell me all these gamer words.
for example, he's done like maybe over 100 videos on Sims 4.
Oh my God, The Sims are wild.
And what he does, what he like, it's for him, it's not a way of like, look at my Sims character, like, do different things, or look at how cool my house gets, or something like that. But it's like, I'm gonna create a dungeon in my basement, and I'm gonna kidnap and like imprison Santa Claus and Death, and I'm gonna make them make YouTube videos for me, or I'm gonna make them make paintings in my basement while I don't feed them, to then make money for myself.
Uh, okay. Well, usually what I did is I would build a pool and then take away take
Take
away
away the
the little
ladder.
ladder.
No, like obviously that's the
But I
traditional way
guess
of like,
killing a sim.
yeah, that's a traditional like kill a sim kind of thing. Like, uh, but that's the kind of thing where like I don't know, like it blends like this comedic aspect for me with like this self-deprecating personality, and then games that I would even there are games that I would not enjoy, like games that I would not never play, but I
Yeah.
will watch someone else make a video
Dude,
out of them.
you wouldn't play The Sims?
No, I play The Sims. Like I literally built a really
Yeah.
cool house in The Sims, but
Yeah.
like there's a game like called like I don't know, like a driving game, or like something like Black Desert Online, or stuff like that. Like things that I've
Uh,
looked at and I'm just like I don't find these games interesting,
yeah.
but I'll watch someone make like just fun of the game, or not even fun of the game, but fun of the character that they create in the game.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of like escapism in a way. So like for me, it's like I find what he's doing interesting, but I don't see myself as that guy. That's a good
Yeah,
way of
yeah,
putting it.
yeah.
Like to just bring it back in full circle.
Yeah, it's more like entertainment.
Yeah, like it's
Pure
YouTube.
entertainment.
It's YouTube escapism for me. Like those are the channels that I keep up with the most. And then obviously there's like other people. Like I remember I told you about like the Tiny Meat Gang podcast, or like the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people that run that podcast are like these people called like Cody Ko and like Noel Miller and stuff like that. And they're people that started off as like Viners or something like that, but then they did comedy out of what they do, like not scripted comedy, just just regular like stand-up comedy type of things, but on YouTube itself.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And that basically sums up. Well, I mean, we went on a weird tangent where we started off with like artsy movies, went into like that weird movie poster that you had, and then it somehow led to YouTube channels. But I don't know, that was fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was fun. It
do
was
you have any particular other topic that you think would be interesting, or
well,
should we?
I don't know, dude. So
I mean,
uh,
let me take a look. We're at like we've actually done a decent amount of content. We're like at a 43-minute mark right now.
that's good stuff. Listeners, if you've made it this far, congratulations. You win a prize of um,
More podcast
more
episodes.
podcasts.
That's
Yeah,
all I'm really gonna give you. I don't like I'm not rich. Can't do that other shit. Can't.
I think it would be cool to maybe this can be for a later episode next
Mhm.
time you want to have me. We could be talking about like fitness stuff. I don't know. I'm like super into that shit, but it I know you don't want to make it super like theme focused, but let
No,
us know in the comments if you'd like to learn more.
I have no restrictions on topics usually, as long as someone has something to talk about. Like
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
have an actual thing that you want to talk about related to fitness, go ahead. Like I don't mind learning new stuff.
I mean, I
I
don't really have. I'm not a teacher or anything. I just have strong opinions.
that's podcasting though. At the end of the day, like most of us don't know what the hell we're talking about. Like it's just talking about shit and hoping that it sticks. That's it.
Yeah. So, what do you do? Do you do like, oh my God, thank you guys so much for following my channel. Give a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you want to learn more about other stuff to talk about, right? Isn't that
Mm,
what you do?
no, it's kind of just like, all right, that was fun. See you guys later. Bye.
Okay, well,
It's no,
that was fun.
what we can do. Okay, you know what? How about this? You can say like you can end the podcast. Do your how would you end your podcast? Go ahead, and that's how we'll end it.
Okay, well, I'm not really sure how people interact with the podcast, but I would say Thank you guys so much for tuning in. um, let me know in the comments below what you want to hear next. And ciao ciao. I would say that.
All right, then that's how we're gonna end it. See ya, everyone.
right.
This was fun.
Ciao.